Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my wife and I, we would like to thank you all for coming today and joining us to celebrate our very special day. We're glad that you all turned up. I'm glad Stace turned up. And I think we're all relieved it didn't snow. Being the accomplished public speaker, that's I certainly am not. I just want to assure you all that no intelligence, artificial or otherwise, has been used in composing this speech. That will become paid evidence over the next few minutes. The chances of me getting through this without stuttering or crying are pretty slim. So if I do start to cry, Stu has finally volunteered. Alright, Stu? Yeah. I think you'll all agree with me that Stace looks absolutely beautiful today. And also her bridesmaid Martha. Annie, Ren, and Raya. Thank you all for doing a great job of leading us today. Thanks to my big brother Rich, the best man. He had the unenviable task of rousing some enthusiasm for a 51-year-old stag do. Amsterdam, Prague, New York were all considered, but the final vote was King Swings with Wetherspoons. It's gone pretty wild, I can tell you. And thanks to the ushers, James, Joe and Joe. I think that's the finest display of ushering I've ever seen. I'd like to thank Stacey's mum and dad, Val and Frank, for raising such a lovely, caring daughter, and to my mum and dad for all they've done for me over the years. I'd like to thank Val and Joe for helping Stacey get ready this morning, and more importantly, making sure she ate something before she started on the Prosecco. Thank you to Darren, our photographer. And to Anne, our florist, for the flowers today, and to Emmy, our hairstylist, for making all the girls look so beautiful. Unfortunately, she couldn't do anything for me. I'd like to thank TDR Formal Suit Hire of Pal Zoe for closing down just before we hired our suits. I'd like to thank Dancers Formal Suit Hire Pal Zoe for closing down just after the hire. So you're lucky I'm not standing here in my pants. And also to one of the finest bakers in Rowley Regis and surrounding areas, Stacey, for the beautiful cake she has made, and in doing so saved us about £5 million. I'd also like to thank Stace for making and sending all the new wine sets, making all the place cards, for ordering all the flowers, for organising the photographer, I've been pretty stressed out watching us, to be honest. Thank you to Stacey's nan and to my auntie Margaret, who both send their best wishes, but unfortunately can't come today. The journey would have been just a bit too much for them. And thank you to all the staff here at Rowton Castle for being so helpful and accommodating.
Thank you.
In our extensive search for the perfect wedding venue, this came number one out of a grand total of 1. As soon as they said to Stace, who doesn't want to get married at Christmas in the castle, the search was over. And I think it was the easiest sale they've ever made. But I think you'll agree it's a beautiful place. Got a couple of stories to tell you. A number of years ago, back in the early days, me and Stace, we were at home relaxing. Stace watching the telly. I was on my laptop, I think. When out of the blue, Stace turned to me and said, "I know you said you loved me, Andy, but what specifically do you love about me?" Oh shit. Well, I slowly closed my laptop and did what any normal bloke would do. I panicked. The first words out of my mouth and what I loved about her were, and I quote, "your attitude, your behaviour, and your very clean." Now, the fact that she didn't get up and walk out, and the fact she found my pathetic response hilarious, gave me another thing that I loved about her. She was resilient. Stace has never let me live this down, and rightly so. Of course, what I meant to say on that wholly regrettable day was that she was loving, caring, generous. She'd do anything for anyone. She's a brilliant mom, and on top of all that, she's got a fantastic voice. But most impressive of all the things that I loved about her, was her unique ability to sneeze in a black country accent. I remember hearing it for the first time and thinking, this is the woman I've been looking for. So I hope we can move on from this sorry episode today, and that you will never mention it again. So if we can all raise our glasses and toast. My loving, talented, well-behaved, very clean. Stace Jones. Story number 2. 10 years ago, I was 41, single again, living on my own in my bachelor pad, spice fortunes on 24 hours a day, eating bags of salad and tea, drinking wine straight from the bottle. I thought I was living a dream. Little did I know that things were going to get even better. In the following years, me and Stace got together, some 11 years after first meeting, moved in together, bought a house together, brought our little curly haired bundle of joy, Annie, into the world together. And finally today, got married together. But also, through all of this change, there were 2 little boys, James and Joe. Watching them either side of their mum earlier reminded me of the day I first met them. It wasn't a planned meeting. Stace had been told to go to the hospital by a doctor and she wasn't to drive, so I had to take her. As I pulled into the car park to collect them that night, Stace was standing there with, like today, James and Joe either side of her, their lunch boxes in one hand, holding their mum's hand with the other. And my first impression was what smart, respectful, handsome young boys they were. And my first impression was proved to be spot on. I got to know the lads in the following months after our first meeting and loved having them around. So much so, I suggested to Stace we should get bunk beds set up in my spare room and they could all stay over, maybe once or twice a week. Well, within days we had the bunk beds up, and yes, they stayed over, I'm glad to say they've never left. I don't know how glad they are about it. I guess we'll find out in a minute. And over the years, they have grown into the intelligent, handsome young men you see today. And they are a credit to Stace and Mike, their dad.
Yeah.
Watching them with their little sister has been a joy to see, passing on their knowledge and important life skills, such as reading, writing, showing her how to kick a football correctly, who's better, Messi or Ronaldo, and showing her how to burp like a man. I'm really proud of you boys. My only tiny crumb of disappointment, however, has been their choice of football team. but I can live with that. I never met Frank, Stacey's dad, but I'm sure your granddad would be really proud of you boys today, walking your mum down the aisle for you. So I'd like to raise our glasses and toast our three fantastic kids, James, Joe and Annie. Cheers. Along with Frank, I would like to mention people close to us who are no longer with us. We both have several nans and granddads who certainly sadly no longer with us. But just a special mention to my nan, Dad's mom, who has been gone a number of years now. She would have loved to be here today. Stacey actually met her long before we were together, when she worked as a carer. One of the first times me and Stace actually met was in my nan's house. So yeah, special mentions there. As my Uncle Peter in Scotland, Uncle Terry, Uncle Graham, Patrick, Simon's dad, who sadly passed away 3 years ago, all would have been here today, I'm sure. Last, but by no means least, my mum, who would have been 80 yesterday. Sadly, she's not here to see me finally get married. But I can see her now looking down at me over the glasses, saying, "What took you so really long?" So, a special one for my mum. Raise your glasses. Happy birthday, Carol.
Happy birthday.